Today I'm going to discuss times when you may be better off working with a different type of practitioner rather than a naturopath initially. So both of these examples relate to children today. So the first example is if you have a child that has an extreme level of fussy eating. Maybe they've been diagnosed with autism spectrum, or they have PDA or oppositional defiance, and there's a real, mealtime's a real battlefield, or there are some really genuine psychological issues around change. So the person I would suggest that you see prior to seeing a naturopath is probably a feeding therapist. So someone that really just specializes in extreme levels of fussy eating. So maybe an OT would be a person to speak to. Sometimes speech therapists will do food therapy. Sometimes psychologists will be the person to speak to. But when you just know that your child is not going to change their diet, you might be better off speaking to a food therapist first, that one that deals with and specializes in extreme fussy eating, because a naturopath is going to ask you to change your diet and ask you to diversify your child's diet. It's just a fundamental part of seeing a naturopath. So if you don't think your child is ready for that yet, you might be better off working with a different specialist first. Then the other time that it may not be the best choice for you to see a naturopath just yet is if your child has an aversion to taking supplements. So many times we're going to recommend supplements or herbs, and unfortunately, supplements that actually do something have a taste. So there are a couple of exceptions to this rule, but most supplements that are therapeutic in nature will have some level of taste. They aren't bad, but if your child has, again, that sort of aversion to any flavor, or aversion to chalkiness, or aversion to texture, or something along those lines, it might be best to start, before you come to see a naturopath, start teaching them how to swallow very, very small pieces of soft cut up fruit. So like a blueberry that's been frozen and it's all mushy, and you cut it into tiny, tiny little bits, and you start to teach them the art of swallowing a capsule. So it may be better to do those things before seeing a naturopath, because we are probably always going to recommend either herbs or some type of supplement that, even though it might not taste bad to an adult, might taste not so great to a child. So if your child really doesn't like flavors, and they're going to really struggle to take supplements, then it's probably not the best choice right now. And if there is like extreme fussy eating where there is a whole process that needs to be gone through before they change their diet, because we are always going to ask you to change your diet. That's part of natural medicine is we believe in food as medicine. We believe that food is one of the main healers for our body. And if you're not quite ready to get rid of numbers and add color and diversify the diet, you may find that once you get here that the advice that you're given is not actionable. Okay, hopefully that helps.